Hello and good afternoon friends, welcome to the CEC EduSet live lecture. For all the students of science as well as all those students who wish to pursue their career in science, I would say, we have for them a very interesting topic today, that is on biotechnology. What is biotechnology? What are its applications? What are its scope? Today we are we are going to discuss on this very topic, and we'll try to find out what basically this Department of Science deals with. And for this we have with us in our studios Dr. Hardeep Kaur. She is Assistant Professor in Ramjas College, University of Delhi. So first of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Hardeep Kaur, and I would like to hand over this lecture all to her so that all the students, all the viewers who are watching us right now would be benefited from this very lecture.
Thank you,
welcome
Kitika.
ma'am, welcome to the EduSet lecture.
Thanks a lot, Kitika. So students, I'll be speaking on biotechnology, application and scope today. Now, as you know, biotechnology is a very interesting field. It's a growing field. It has lots of opportunities for students as well as teachers alike. I mean, teachers can learn a lot, students can learn a lot, and it offers lots of opportunities as regards to the job opportunities, as regards to many other opportunities. So, first of all, what is biotechnology? Now, if we need to define biotechnology, it's any technological application that uses biological systems, living organisms or derivatives thereof to make or modify products or processes for specific use. As I just told you, it's a growth industry of 21st century. Lots of opportunities are coming for students. Lots of opportunities have come and will definitely come in future. It's an interdisciplinary science. It not only involves biology, but also mathematics, physics, chemistry, almost all fields of sciences. The name biotechnology was coined in 1919 by Hungarian engineer Károly Eréke. Now, the question arises is, how old is biotechnology? Now, if you remember, biotechnology, if you think about what all used to be done, you will say biotechnology has been pursued for age immemorial. Now think about the domestication of animals. Almost started around 10,000 BC. We had sheep, goat, all dog, all domesticated. Then domestication of food crop. We started using barley, we started using maize. It's technically biotechnology. We are using the natural beings for our own betterment. Then in agriculture, the grafting use of hybrid for better crops, animal breeding for better livestock. Now, the most important, brewing, beer production, the food production, leavening of bread, pickle making, tenderizing meat with papaya extract. They had been used since ages, it's like 8,000, 10,000 BC I'm talking about. So now, that time people didn't know that it is fermentation what we are doing. This word fermentation was just not there, It was later the work of Louis Pasteur, who gave the germ theory. He gave this theory almost in the late 1800s. He actually said that it is fermentation, which is the use of microorganisms, may it yield, may it mold or bacterium, for the purpose of degradation of sugars into useful products in the absence of oxygen. This is actually is fermentation. But people were unaware of that. They thought that it's a kind of a miracle or a gift of God which they are utilizing. They were hardly aware of the thing fermentation. So the contribution of Louis Pasteur is extremely important in the history of biotechnology. Now, after that, people started using selective breeding, They started using, for example, selective breeding is very common in animals. We know right now we have around 100 breeds of dog, It is depending upon the size, what we want in the coming breed, in the new progeny. We do breeding accordingly and get almost different types of. We have Chihuahua or we have the Big Dane, so many breeds of dogs available. Similarly, when I am talking about the sweet corn, it is a typical example where selective breeding has worked immensely, In the late BCs, this corn was of a very small size. The kernels were not that juicy. with selective breeding, it so happened that corn right now has increased almost 5 times and the kernels are extremely sweet right now. So, sweet corn is a most famous product of selective breeding which people have been pursuing over ages, you know. Then came the contribution of Gregor Mendel. Now, Gregor Mendel, he was the first one who said that genes is the unit of inheritance. Probably sometime in 1865 this concept came up, but it took almost 90 years to establish that the genes are actually made up of DNA. Once that was established that DNA is the actual genetic material, then the new biotechnology, the advent of the new biotechnology came into being. Now, with the progression in biotechnology, there came in 1928 to 29 the famous discovery by Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin. The penicillin was a wonder drug. It really helped a lot. Initially, it was found out by it was a chance happening that Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin from the bacterium penicillium, from the microorganism penicillium. But penicillin later revolutionized the field of biotechnology. More recently, the biotechnology had seen the advent of recombinant DNA technology, genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, bioinformatics. So many different fields are now present. They are all, the biotechnology, as I initially said, it's a field which has many fields, whether it is molecular biology, whether it is cellular biology, cell biology, molecular biology, or we are talking about genetics, or latest genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, bioinformatics, etc. Now, when we are talking about biotechnology, we have some frequently used terms of biotechnology which we come across. Let's say blue biotechnology. It's a term that has been used to describe the marine and aquatic applications of biotechnology, not much used as such. But the green biotechnology is biotechnology which is applied to agricultural processes. Who can forget the BT corn or the BT cotton? Here the biotechnology application has been used wherein the microorganism is wherein this the use of genetic engineering has been done to change the genetic profile of the corn, wherein the corn itself is producing a pesticide. We do not need to spray pesticide on the BT corn. It already produces it already has a gene in its genetic makeup that produces a pesticide. Hence, this has revolutionized the green biotechnology. The red biotechnology, it is applied to medical processes. For example, production of antibiotics, the gene therapy, the use of human genome project. Tremendous use of red biotechnology is being done right now. White biotechnology, which is also known as industrial biotechnology, is a biotechnology which is applied to industrial processes, whether for the production of vaccines at a larger level, at an industrial level, whether for the production of biofuels, you name it, and we have a lot of application of biotechnology in the industry. Now, this particular slide shows the various aspects of biotechnology. If we consider only the three, whether the usefulness of biotechnology in agriculture, medicine or industry, we will see there has been tremendous application. It is used for producing new crops, high yielding crops, natural substances, traditional complementary medicines, food supply, they all come under agri-biotechnology. In healthcare sector, if we consider the production of diagnostic kits, the production of new vaccines, the clinical trials. In industrial biotechnology, we talk about biofuels, the green chemistry, biomaterials, so many aspects of biotechnology that are underway right now. Now, let's go through them. Let's go through the application of biotechnology one by one. Let's consider biotechnology in agriculture. And the first thing that comes to your mind is GM crops, that is the genetically modified crops. These crops are those crops which under normal conditions have a different genetic makeup, but by genetic engineering, their genetic makeup has been modified for serving your own purpose. I mean, for example, the improved shelf life in case of flavor saver. Calgene was the first company who came out with Flavor Saver in 1994. There is a particular protein in tomatoes that helps in ripening of tomatoes. Now what they did, they inhibited the effect of this gene in such a way that these tomatoes took longer time in ripening. Because of the delayed ripening, the farmer got more time to harvest the crop, to export the crop, and the spoilage is reduced, heavily reduced. So it improved the shelf life of tomatoes. Then we have the improved nutrition, which is called bio-fortification. See, in most cases when the crop production is done, most of the times probably the crops sometimes are grown on a nutrient deficient soil, or during the processing the crop actually loses its nutrients. Then what do? They actually make up the genetic profile in such a way that the nutrition provided by that crop increases. This process is called bio-fortification. The typical example is golden rice. The golden rice actually in its genetic makeup has genes not only from the microbe but also from daffodils, which produces beta carotene. Now beta carotene, if we take this golden rice, the deficiency of vitamin A is taken care of. Such an important, tremendous discovery or innovation which has happened. If this vitamin A deficiency is taken care of by golden rice, we actually are catering to such a large population which is highly deficient in vitamin A. Tremendous application. Then renin production. Initially, the renin is used to coagulate milk for the production of cheese. The renin was produced from the calf's stomach, but this was a very costly affair. Now, what biotechnologists have done, they had isolated the renin gene and had put it in a plasmid and put it in a microorganism, in a bacterium. Now you can produce tremendous amount of renin, lessening the cost and hence improving all this technology. The renin can be easily produced and can be utilized in a high amount, tremendously reducing the cost. Now the most these days when you talk about the GM crop, people you will understand that since November 2013 not much of GM crop is actually being utilized. The main important reason being that there is a lot of ifs and buts coming into the usage of GM crops. People say probably they are not good, they might have a very bad effect, they can have health problems. But despite these warnings about this Franken foods, no reports of illness have ever been reported of the GM crops. But again, this is very debatable. That's the reason probably the GM crops are currently not being used too much. Now, if you continue with the biotechnology application in agriculture, we have been producing crops which are stress resistant. We can grow rice under arid conditions, herbicide resistance, pathogen resistance, production of biofuels. All these comes under biotechnology and its application in agriculture. Now, as I just mentioned, the production of BT cotton, BT corn, they are all pathogen resistant because they are capable of producing a herbicide themselves because of their altered genetic makeup. Now, biotechnology has tremendous application in medicine when we are talking about vaccine production, biofarming. This term biofarming is specifically used wherein we are producing certain vaccines for commercially through the use of biotechnology. The first application was done in 1978 by a company called Genentech that made synthetic humanized insulin. Before that, insulin was being used from the pancreas of bovine or sometimes from porcine, that is pig, but that used to have many difficulties. Sometimes the human body is rejecting that insulin, it is not getting compatible. But what the biotechnologists did, they isolated the insulin gene and put it in the bacteria, and this is how synthetic humanized insulin was produced, and in tremendous large amounts, copious amounts which is produced, which we are using it now, reducing the initial cost of insulin. From way back it was very expensive, now it is pretty cheap. Many diagnostic kits have been produced. The most important aspect of biotechnology application in diagnostics is in genetic testing. Many people are born with inherited diseases, Now, when we have certain application or some kits which can detect how the genetics of this person has got altered inheritedly, he has inherited an altered the genes which is not right makeup, and he might be in a situation like, for example, in case of people suffering from breast cancer, they have a altered BRCA gene. Now, if somebody can diagnose before the person is actually suffering from that disease, that he may likely to develop that particular disease, that will really be beneficial to that person. But of course, by diagnosing such errors or error in your genes can have lots of repercussions ethically and probably mentally also for the person. So, most of these genetic testing are accompanied with genetic counseling as well. Now, application of biotechnology in therapeutics, in stem cell technology, I will come to it once again, and biomedical engineering, tissue engineering, nanomedicines, clinical trials, clinical research are tremendous, and we are getting new things every other day. Now, I was just talking about biofarming. This slide shows that DNA vaccine phase 3 animal trials have been completed for rabies. For cholera, the recombinant oral vaccine is in phase 2 trial. The malaria phase 1 clinical trials have initiated. Anthrax phase 3 clinical trials have initiated. So many vaccines are in the process or have been developed by now. We have for the diagnostic kits, we have diagnostic kits for Western blot for HIV detection, ELISA for hepatitis C detection, ELISA for leishmaniasis, for alpha fetoprotein detection. And some of the products which are currently Indian market are rDNA Hep B vaccine, erythropoietin, alpha beta gamma interferons, human insulin as I had already described, human growth hormones, human interleukin, streptokinase, follicle stimulating hormone, GCSF, that is granulocyte colony stimulating factor, tissue plasminogen activity. So many biotech products are currently in Indian market. These really have paved a lot of a big way. They have come big way. They had reduced the cost because they are now being produced in biotechnologically. Now, as I was just telling you, the potential use of stem cells. What exactly is a stem cell? Stem cell is a cell which can be used, which are pluripotent cells. You know, they can be made to work in. They can be made to change into any other type of cell. These stems, we all have stem cells, but to harbor the stem cell from a human is a bit difficult. So, the easiest way of harboring stem cells is from the embryo. Again, many ethical issues comes into this. Now, these stem cells have a lot of potential, whether it is for treating baldness, whether it is for treating Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is the colitis, whether it is for deafness, for wound healing, but the most important use these stem cells have found are specifically for encasing neurological damage, spinal damage, or sometimes even to replicate or to make the muscles which have gone bad after heart attack, just to refurbish those muscles. Those stem cells are utilized to recreate those muscles in the human. So, the potential of stem cells is immense. Here again, biotechnology has come to the mercy of for those people who are suffering from all these things. Now, if we talk about the application of biotechnology in industry, which I just mentioned is called white biotechnology, it's a collection of scientific techniques and technologies which are used to improve both the efficiency and environmental footprint of modern industrial production. Microbial technology constitutes the industrial biotechnology. It refers to the use of microbes to obtain a product or service of economic value. Now, some of the activities which are done in industrial biotechnology include isolation of microorganisms from nature, their screening for product formation, improvement of product yields, maintenance of culture, mass culture using bioreactors, and recovery of products. Now, some of its applications can be metabolite production like enzymes, antibiotics, vitamins, anaerobic digestion, for example in methane production, waste treatment both organic and inorganic, production of biocontrol agents to control insect pests, pathogens, weeds, fermentation of food products. Now, bio-based fuel and energy in environmental conservation is a very important field. The bioremediation. Now, who can forget the wonder bacterium which was produced to take care of the oil spills? There is bioremediation sunflower which has been produced by certain company Kernobile, which actually takes care of certain harmful chemicals like strontium, etc. The biosensors, wherein the microbes are used to detect certain chemicals, or the chemicals are vice versa. The chemicals are used to detect certain microbes. For example, certain chemicals can be employed as biosensors to find out whether there is a presence of the anthrax bacillus over there in the environment. So, it has again come to the rescue of environment as well. So, biotechnology has application in environment conservation also. Now, I would now go on to the scope of biotechnology. Now, when I talk about the scope of biotechnology, the question arises is, what should one, this has by and large covered most of the application of biotechnology. Of course, there are immense application of biotechnology, and we can go on and talk about application in various other fields also. But I had only covered the food, agriculture, medicine as well as the industry. We have application of biotechnology in almost all fields. Now, the question for the students is how to pursue biotechnology, or the scope or the career scope in biotechnology, how to go about studying about biotechnology. So, I would say if you are really keen about taking biotechnology at your undergraduate or postgraduate level, so start early. You need to be good in science, you should be good in physics, chemistry, biology as well as mathematics, because all these 4 subjects are very, very important. You must have these subjects, at least physics, chemistry, biology at your +2 level. After that, for your undergraduate level, most of the universities have BTech, BSc programs in biotechnology. Now, it could be a 3-year program or it could be a 4-year program. Recently, we have got a 4-year program which have come up in University of Delhi. In other universities, it could be 4-year also, it could be 3-year program also. In some of the institutes like IIT, they have their specialized test. You might have to give an entrance test called JEE, Joint Entrance Examination, or AIEEE, which is for the other entrance exams for the other technological universities. After you have cracked those exams and have come into the merit, for cracking those, you must have at least 50 or 55% at your +2 level in physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics. Now, eligibility criteria differs at various universities. Now, currently I am just taking care of the biotech courses at undergraduate level in Delhi. It is being run at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, where you have a BTech biotechnology, where the criteria is class 12th, you should have physics, chemistry and biology. Then you have GGS Indraprastha University in Delhi, which again is offering BTech, MTech biotechnology, where again the 10+2 you should have 55% in physics, chemistry, biology and maths. They have their own entrance test. Of course, you have IITs, IIT Delhi, it's offering a MTech integrated 5-year dual degree program, where again you should have physics, chemistry and mathematics in 12th are eligible. The entrance test is there for IITs and it's a 5-year program. Some programs, as I said, it's 4-year, the integrated programs are almost 5 or 5.5 years. Now, these are some of the universities which are offering master courses in different branches of biotechnology. Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, Birsa Agriculture University, Ranchi, Calicut University, Central University, Hyderabad, Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, Indore, GB Pant University, Pantnagar, Goa University, Goa, Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, Himachal Pradesh University, Shimla and Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi. You have a separate entrance test for the Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi, which you can only give after graduation. These are the BTech courses these are the biotech courses which are being offered at the master's level. Now, universities offering master courses, some more of them are MS University in Baroda, Madurai Kamraj University, Madurai, Punjab University, Chandigarh, Pondicherry University, Pune University, Punjab University, Patiala, Jammu University and many other. It's Patiala. Then for the PhD and postdoctoral research centers, you have JNU Delhi, IIT Delhi, very prestigious institutes, National Institute of Immunology Delhi, International Center for Genetic Engineering in Biotechnology Delhi, National Institute of Immunology Delhi, Indian Institute of Science Bangalore, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology Hyderabad, Indian Agriculture Research Institute Delhi, and Bose Institute in Calcutta. Now, the most important thing is most of the people who are pursuing MSc and PhD, they tend to go abroad for some of their coursework, and unfortunately that becomes a brain drain because most of those people tend to stay over there. But despite of that, we have very good brain in India who are pursuing biotechnology and who are very much ready for the job sector. When we are talking about the career scope in biotechnology, in recent times, biotechnology as a subject has grown rapidly, and as far as employment is concerned, it has become the second fastest growing sector after multimedia. Candidates with postgraduate degree in biotechnology get absorbed in corporate as well as government sectors both. Qualified biotechnologies are employed in leading business companies, pharmaceutical companies, chemical industries, bioprocessing industries, agriculture related industries, and pollution control activities of the major industries. They can even join government and corporate run research and development organizations. Some companies to look out for if you are want to find a career in biotechnology is Biocon, Serum Institute of India, Benicia Biotech, Mako Monsanto Biotech, Rasi Seeds, Novo Nordisk, Aventis, Indian Immunologicals, Venkateshwara Hatcheries, Renbexy, Dr. Reddy's Lab, Piramal Healthcare. Some other major organizations employing biotechnologists in India include Hindustan Lever, Thapar Group, Indo-American Hybrid Seeds, Bincon India, Bifcol IDPL, India Vaccines Corporation, Hindustan Antibiotics, National Botanical Institute, National Chemical Laboratories, and Tata Engineering Research Institute, etc. So, I would like to say that the scope of biotechnology is immense. We have people coming, of course, there is a brain drain which is happening very much in biotechnology because people after doing post graduation go for a doctorate abroad and hence they generally don't come back. But at the end of the day, the career scope in biotechnology has risen immensely in the last few years. This has led to more and more people actually coming back to India because we have now so many companies which are employing biotechnologists in India. So, I would like to summarize this entire topic by saying that biotechnology has the potential to bring tremendous benefits to mankind. We just need to be aware to exploit it fully. So, I would say that biotechnology definitely has a lot of potential and we should exploit it fully.
Definitely, you laid very important points regarding this very topic, that is about the biotechnology, and you segregated well how in agriculture field or industrial or healthcare one can go and make the career. Now the question arises, ma'am, what is the cost criteria? I mean, is it possible for a normal student from a normal family to pursue such course? Is it affordable?
Well, actually it all depends how good you are. If you are good and you can give a good entrance exam and you can come into the government colleges and all. For example, Delhi University, if you are pursuing it, it would not be very expensive for you. Not more than 10,000, 20,000 might be used for the entire course. But again, it depends. If you are not very good at it and you still want to pursue biotechnology, the course becomes a bit expensive as it is there and for the other courses as well. But of course, the cost factor reduces tremendously if you are able to get into a good university where the total cost of the course is very less.
And if we talk about the UG level courses, one need to have good percentage in 12th class and on the basis of that he might get admission into the
well, not really. Actually, most of these biotech courses, whether we are talking about BTech in IIT and all, you actually need to have a stipulated amount, for example 55% in PCM or PCB, and then you can actually go for the entrance exam. You need to crack the entrance exam. If you have cracked the entrance exam, that shows that you are good at it, that you are good at your subject and you have the aptitude for pursuing the course. You need to crack those entrance exams and then you can go ahead with that.
Of course, one can go ahead if the person has passion and deep knowledge how one can excel in this particular field. But sometimes we have seen that students who wish to just flip their careers, I mean want to change their line, I mean if they are into something engineering kind of stream, but all of a sudden they feel that they need to have this kind of work to be done. Do they have any scope or there is any criteria?
Again, it depends on at what time you actually want to have a change, you know. For example, if you were doing PCM and you suddenly want to have biotechnology. See, biotechnology is more closer to biology, but I won't say it is not closer to other fields also. It is equally closer to other fields. As I told you, it's an interdisciplinary thing. At times at school level, you do have a biotechnology as a subject itself in few of the schools, but you might not be having it. You might be having a simple biology, or somebody might not have taken biology at all. He can, as I just told you, for example, in IITs, you actually need to see PCM. So at an undergraduate, admission at an undergraduate level, you just need to take care of the entrance exam. Now, after pursuing undergraduation, if you want to go for PG, in PG also, again, you should have at least undergraduation done, for example, in botany perhaps, for biomedical science or zoology, veterinary science. If you had done undergraduation in any of these fields, you are still eligible to go for PG in biotechnology. And if you had done biotechnology at a PG level and then you want to pursue biotechnology at a, let's say, PhD level, there's no problem as such. You just need to have that aptitude for it.
Aptitude and a very basic knowledge about the subjects, with whose help you can proceed further.
But definitely UG at PG level, if you already have biotechnology, it will be a blessing.
It would be a blessing. And do you feel if the school curriculum, if biotechnology not as a subject but as a topic in some of the chapters of the science, would it, if it had been introduced, it would be easier for the students?
It is already there.
It is already there.
Yes, it is
so
already there.
It becomes easier for the students to
comprehend that. Yeah,
to comprehend that and think that they can further study in this particular subject and go forward.
Yes.
Ma'am, aren't there any certificate or diploma courses?
We have many certificate courses. In fact, we have a department of biotechnology in Delhi itself, which actually run so many diploma courses, so many certificate courses, and in various other universities also, in so many colleges of DU, we keep on having these diploma courses, certificate courses now and then. You just need to look out at the website of those colleges whenever these things are happening. Even in DBT itself, you can, if you go to the website of Department of Biotechnology, Government of India, you will come across so many courses which are happening. You can enroll there and you can take that.
One can enroll and definitely get benefit of these subjects. Now the question arises, the way you have segregated, as I said earlier, that we have various departments in biotechnology itself. So at what level of the study these departments are segregated? One has to study everything during the course, or the segregation or this area of specialization comes later?
Well, actually the specialization is generally at a doctorate level. Biotechnology itself, as I told you, it's a interdisciplinary field where you actually have, you cannot say that I am a biotechnologist and I am not doing molecular biology or I am not doing genetics. You need to learn everything, to be a biotechnologist. You cannot actually demarcate the fields. It's an interdisciplinary course which comes even bioinformatics. Bioinformatics has a lot of computer application. So people from computer field are actually so much involved in bioinformatics, which is a very important field of biotechnology these days.
Definitely students can learn more and more from this, but if we go towards the career point of view, how one make the choices, the part of choices, that if we talk about the choices that one wish to go for the agriculture sector, wants to work for the agriculture sector or the industrial or the healthcare, at that point from where the segregation comes?
See, first of all, I will say it's the aptitude which is important. If you have an aptitude for a particular field, you will definitely look out for that particular kind of an avenue. If you have a aptitude for an agriculture sector, you will always go for a company which is an agriculture based, whose products are more agriculture based, and you will try to come out with those, you try to associate yourself with those things. So I guess it is the aptitude which matters, which particular, for example, you want to go into the agriculture sector, you want to go into the medicine sector. But I would say these days most of the companies are trying their hand at almost everything. So you are covering almost everything. Some of the companies, no, for example, like Panacea and all, they are specifically, for example, the Biocon itself, they are into not only the medical sector as well as the agriculture sector. So I would say that once you are into a particular company and your most of the fields, whether it is agriculture, medicine, depends on what that company is actually pursuing.
It depends what they are working, what their profile is. Now, the very important question from every student's point of view, those students who are not able to clear for the CPMT examination and they wish their careers to be in the medicines, I think it is a very good opportunity that those who couldn't make through CPMT or that kind of field, with the help of this biotechnology, they can enter into their area of interest.
Yes, definitely. I feel that I won't say you are playing God in biotechnology, but definitely you are changing, you are actually genetic engineering, with the help of genetic engineering, you are actually changing the entire genetic profile of microorganism. It is actually heeding to your, what you want, heeding to your wishes. It is producing that compound. So it is actually a very interesting field wherein a lot of innovation is possible. That is very important. You need to have the ideas, the bent of mind, and there are set techniques. It's not a very big thing. There are set techniques which you need to learn, and then it is all your mind, it is all your innovation which helps you or which takes you through biotechnology.
If we talk about biotechnology as alone, if we try to understand its definition more clearly, can we say that through biotechnology, that is with the help of the science, with the help of technology, we try to carve out a life out of a life?
Kind of, yes, we can say. In fact, I would say that in my next lecture, perhaps I will tell you more about cloning, which is a very important aspect of biotechnology, where we are actually cloning an individual for various purposes, It's been done around the world. There are such pet projects. I'll of course deal with it. Yes, I will say yes, we are doing that.
Because when we talk about organisms, bacteria, viruses, as you talked about a lot in this particular lecture, so what I could perceive was like that in some form or the other, if we talk about that in the production of medicines, in some medicines we find out, as you talked about antibiotics, in some way or the other we are using certain bacteria or something like that for the production of the medicines, and with the help of those medicines we are healing lots of patients.
Yes.
So we can say that in a sense.
Actually see the insulin, the recombinant insulin, it has changed the cost tremendously. I could not give you the exact figures, but I guess must be many times, the cost has dropped. Initially when we were taking out insulin from porcine or from cattle, the cost was very high, and most of the time it was not suiting individuals because it is coming from an animal. Now if you are using a humanized insulin, that is the insulin which is coming from human, and you mass producing it, so the cost is also less. Tremendous opportunity.
This is what I was about to ask, because when we have shortage of something, then the obviously the production cost increases, and the production cost increases, then all the products in the market are usually high. So with the help of the biotechnology, we can say that we produce certain things in mass.
Yeah, and that is what is cost cutting.
That is
how the biotechnology is helping not only industrial medicine, of course, in industry also, industrially also. It's an industrial production of things. So many hormones. You talk about growth hormones, very important for certain people. Ask them who have short height, So it's a very important hormone. You are producing it, you are utilizing it in certain circumstances. Of course, you cannot be indiscriminately using all those stuff. But when you are using it at a right proportion, right level, I think it is a blessing.
We just can't not play with the nature, but in some way or the other, we as a human being, with the help of the biotechnology, is trying to give something else to the nature. Always we say that nature has given us so much, but in some way or this another, you can say that we are giving back to the nature. You raised some important things, like you talked about the hybrids, like the breeds. So this biotechnology as a term, as a concept, does it helps in selection also, or only the identification or the production?
No, when we are doing selective breeding, we are actually helping to select the best out of it. For example, when I was giving you that corn thing, that the corn which we have developed, which Monsanto has developed, it's called a sweet corn, Initially, selective breeding, See, breeding, selective breeding was pursued since age immemorial. We used to breed the two good animals so that we get a better hybrid, you know, which will have all the characters.
Better quality.
But initially, see, by selective breeding, it was, we had left a lot to the nature, you know. We were just hoping that the hybrid will have the best of the two. So it was very, we had left most of the things to the nature. By genetic engineering per se, we actually know where exactly we are putting the gene. So we are not taking any risk. We know exactly what our outcome would be. Here, the certainty is more by genetic engineering. Of course, selective breeding is another biotechnology aspect only. But now with this genetic engineering, we are very sure of the product.
We are sure of the product because in advance we know the quality of that product, and with
we know what we are expecting.
We are expecting.
For example, if we are putting insulin in bacteria, we know we will get a lot of insulin.
As you said that the chances of innovation are very high.
Very high.
We need to be creative regarding this, what actually we need.
Right.
Ma'am, if you talk about the, apart very slightly from this very topic, that is biotechnology, but it has connection with the future of India, with the future of the country. Do you feel so that this field has a scope, it has a power to just grow the economy of the country, because if we are producing lots of products, lots of new things, we can definitely send to the other countries and get a good amount.
See, honestly, at an international level, India is at a very good platform, you know. The biotechnology in India is at a peak, you know. We are doing very well. Internationally also, we are sending students, you know, outside to study, and they, as I told you, that is sometimes bad also. The pros and cons of it also is there, but definitely biotechnology internationally, if we can pursue biotechnology, produce things tremendously, it's the time will tell that we will be actually exporting things to other countries, you know.
Because we'll be producing lots of new good things.
But again, there's a lot of ethical things. For example, some people, the same fate of GM crops, you know, sometimes people are not ready to accept. Since November, I told you, since November 2013, not a single GM crop is being used right now, which is pretty unfortunate. But again, this is debatable.
This is debatable, and in some way or the another, we need to have some awareness platform so that what we have we can explore and make the people aware of. In fact, the countrymen should be aware of such type of production, that with the help of biotechnology, what we are producing.
Probably we need to come out openly and tell like how good or bad something is. We should be very clear. After all, it is being consumed by people, so we have to be very clear about that.
As I said about we need to tell people and we need to inform that them how important this sector is coming out, it is emerging out. Do you feel we need to carry out some workshop or seminars from time to time, both at the global, that is at the national or the global level, so that people could be informed?
Yes, definitely. We are having so many platforms, we are running so many courses where all these things are being told, but definitely I think more of awareness should always be there.
And one thing more, if we talk about the hybrid things we are getting, if we talk about the seeds or the plants, our farmers who work on the field are still not aware of the seeds or these hybrid qualities which are being produced through biotechnology. Something could be done to educate them.
Yes, the farmers are very aware these days. They know about the hybrid seeds. They actually go out for these hybrid seeds. See, they know the goodness of these hybrid seeds, because most of them are herbicide resistance, pathogen resistance. So all, of course, awareness, more of awareness is always the need of an hour. You need to tell all the time. But definitely the farmer these days is more aware, and they are using hybrid seeds, which are herbicide resistant, pathogen resistant, weed resistant. So production has increased, you know, tremendously.
Production has increased because they are being informed and they know what facilities they have and how they can definitely avail them. Now, again, going back to the medicine part, if we talk about the genuine person, as you said, that if we have any problem, if we are of short height and we can avail this facility of biotechnology, do this biotechnology in some sense help in regeneration? For example, if somebody lost certain part of the body.
I did tell you about the stem cell thing, you know. The stem cells, I told you, help in rejuvenation. A person, there's been so many reports now, and it is right now being used. If a person who has had a heart attack, in a heart attack, usually a muscle of the heart gets lost or weakened, or somehow it is not able to perform its due function. So stem cells are being put over there. They acquire the nature of that organ in which they are function, because they are pluripotent cells. They will refurbish this, the lost muscle of the heart. Similar aspect has also been pursued in the persons who have undergone spinal injuries. Very important aspect. Neurological damage. All these things. The stem cells are a boon these days. But of course, awareness needs to be there.
Because many times we have learned this or heard from the doctors itself or the patients from themselves that the certain part of their body has been transplanted to regenerate that part of the body. Like you said, that in the spinal cases, that is spinal injury cases, or some tissues are there in the body which helps in regeneration of the other part of the body. So we can say, and we hope all the students who might be watching.
No, I would like to add, in fact, the organ regeneration is also being done, you know. Not much has been done, but people are trying that bladder, pancreas, liver part of it can be actually regenerated using this thing which I'll cover in another of my lecture, and it can be made in some other organism and utilized and used in the people who have lost it, you know. So it's a tremendous hope, which is called tissue engineering actually.
Definitely, we hope for the better India, for the better country, where our students can avail more and more of the opportunities in this particular field. You raised some important terms for all those students like me who are not aware with the terms. Hope would be benefiting if you would tell us what is fermentation is. What is this term fermentation?
So, for example, I did tell you about fermentation. Fermentation is actually a process in which we are using microbes. It could be yeast, it could be mold, etc. And what they are doing, they are using the sugars present in a culture, or for example, the fermentation in the brewing industry, or for example, the cheese production, or the bread production. The sugar is getting converted anaerobically in the absence of oxygen into the product, you know. This product is what we consume, whether it is cheese, yogurt, or bread, etc., or in the brewing industry, the wine, etc., which we are preparing, the beer, etc., which we are preparing. This is all through the process of fermentation. These microbes are being used, like yeast, etc., which is converting one product into another useful product.
Useful product under certain circumstances. Certain temperature, certain machines.
Yes, exactly.
With the help of that, we are producing new things, and as in when we go to the market, we always get something new to eat, to spend about. Now, I wish to know about what is biofortification, which you used in this lecture.
Biofortification. I did tell about biofortification, that sometimes when you are growing crops, you know, the soil is not very rich in nutrients, and sometimes during the process of manufacturing food, the food loses its nutrient value. Now, what if we engineer or bioengineer or we make the genetic makeup of the crop in such a way that it is rich in those nutrients? As I told you, in certain cases, we have been able to isolate the gene which is producing beta-carotene. Now, if this gene is already been incorporated into the crop will be producing, for example, the golden rice which I told, it is producing beta-carotene. So, people who are deficient, for example, in vitamin A deficiency, if they take the golden rice, the deficiency, they will be able to overcome the deficiency. This process of increasing the nutrient value of a crop is called biofortification.
That is increasing the quality, that is in some way or the another we are making more affordable for the person to have it, to consume.
Yes, more healthy. Rather than taking vitamin A supplements, you just eat golden rice.
But sometimes, ma'am, if we talk in general terms, people have misconceptions. ये तो कह सकते हैं कि तो चक्की का आटा, ये तो मशीन्स के द्वारा प्रोड्यूस किया गया आटा है, और या ये एग्स, फार्म एग्स हैं, ये तो ताकतवर नहीं होते. Is it a misconception?
Well, I guess so. But see, for example, chakki ka aata and dusra aata, they used to be those old wife tales where we used to say that the purana aata, people used to do a lot, saaf karke, khud piswana, itna sahi rakhna, और उस हिसाब से they were talking more about the fibers there when they are talking about that. कि चक्की का आटा ज़्यादा fiber में नहीं होता, rich. So I guess it is in a different context that people say those things.
But as you said that it has more nutrients because we are using particular technology so that its viability, its quality doesn't hamper. For that biotechnology is used, and to all the viewers, all the students who are watching us right now, we are only, it is our effort for you, so that if you are thinking to make a career in biotechnology and wish to study, of course you could go ahead. For you to go ahead, for as it is now become more compulsory, more mandatory to know more about biotechnology, what are the areas apart from the agriculture or industrial, if you talk about healthcare, if you talk about the sub areas also, is it possible, because though we have time to know.
See, biotechnology, as I told you, has so many application almost everywhere. You cannot actually demarcate and say that it has application only in agriculture or in medicine, or it has agriculture in pharmacy, it has agriculture in environment, as I just told you, environment sector. I didn't mention the biofuels, you know. In biofuels, we are utilizing the crop and taking out fuels from it, you know. For example, ethanol is used. Now, the good thing about the biofuels is that the bioethanol, for example, which has been used, is that they produce very less amount of carbon dioxide. So it is actually very friendly towards the environment. Now, less of CO2 emission, very good for the environment. Such biofuels, and abroad you actually have these biofuels which are being given right at the petrol pumps, you know, the gas stations, and their cost is almost similar to the normal fuel which people are using. So people are in other countries actually using biofuels, and if the emission level of CO2 is very less because of these biofuels, it will have a tremendous application in environment also. So that way I will say biotechnology cannot be put into only few fields, it has application everywhere.
Of course, ma'am. If we talk about, sometimes we have heard that waste products are being used. So does it have any connection with the biotechnology?
Yes, I would say the waste, when I am talking about the waste products, for example, the biogases which is being produced is another type of biofuels. I would also like to mention here is that sometimes there had been a problem of oil spillage, you know, in oceans and all. So there was this wonder bug which was made, which was actually used to convert these oils and convert it into a product which was much easily convertible, you know, bioconvertible. Oil otherwise will have a tremendous harmful effect on the living flora and fauna present in the oceans and seas, you know. So if it is converted into that kind of a biodegradable product, it can easily be. I just gave you an example of the sunflower which has been produced by Chernobyl, which actually make use of all those harmful chemicals like strontium, etc., and change it into a product which is easily biodegradable. So that way, tremendous applications.
Tremendous applications, and applications as we talked about the medicine sector also. There is a often term that is pathology. We often used to visit the labs for testing. Does it have some connection with the biotechnology? The way now the tests are being done, every part of our body could be tested. So does it have any connection with the pathology also?
See, I would say in case of those diagnostic kits which have come up because of biotechnology, for example, the LISA kits, the RIA kits, the HIV kits, so many kits. I did mention that we have produced so many kits in which biotechnology is being used. So definitely in diagnostics of various diseases, it has good application.
It's a good application, that is what we think about. Now, ma'am, we often use the term sustainable development. That is whatever we have, we try to summarize it up, or we try to keep it up so that it could be used by our future generations. So with the help of biotechnology, do we think, is it possible?
See, it's a new development which we have got through biotechnologies. This development can be sustained for the future generation. Yes, we can do that. But for that, lots of input has to come from the government, from the industry, because see, the scientists can only give the innovative ideas. To take it further to the people and to maintain it into a sustainable level, a lot of input has to come from the government sector also.
We hope we would get more and more aid so that this sector as a whole would emerge out as the most productive sector. Now my question is about the people of, if we talk about all the women who after a certain age go for the cosmetic surgery, does it has connection with the biotechnology?
Cosmetic surgery is a different volume altogether, where you actually, I don't know how far biotechnology will be helpful in the cosmetic surgery, but I probably am not the right person to talk about cosmetic surgery here. I am not too aware of,
because if we're talking about the tissues and the cells that we could transplant.
Yes, that way the regeneration, for example, a person who has lost his ear, you know, there are reports that a complete human ear has been reconstituted onto a mouse system, you know, so that ear can actually be placed there. So definitely yes, I guess that losing your part and getting it refurbished through biotechnological application, if you call it a cosmetic surgery, yes, definitely it has an application in cosmetic things also.
Going apart from the cosmetic surgery, if we talk about the severe burnout, sometimes we have seen that it becomes very difficult even for the doctors to heal up that part of the body. Is it possible through biotechnology?
Yes, very, very much possible. We have got reports wherein the skin grafts had been prepared in other organisms and have been used in the burn patients also. So yes, definitely that's been used and that's been done.
That's been done, continuously work has been done in this particular sector, particular field. Now the question is, if we talk about the recycling of the certain products, then again my question is how helpful biotechnology is. Is it possible?
See, recycling in the sense when you want to recycle the degradable products.
Exactly.
As I told you that there are certain things, I'm not talking about again the same example wherein I said there are some certain chemicals like strontium which is actually not degradable. Now Kernobile has come up with the sunflower which is utilizing this chemical and changing it into those products which are biodegradable. So yes, we are recycling all those things which are probably not degradable in a normal circumstances.
What else you think that in this particular field, in this particular sector needs to be done?
What needs to be done is that to make it more lucrative for the students to pursue biotechnology, we need to have more jobs. Unfortunately, till now, the IT sector is higher on the job side. We still get more jobs in the IT sector as compared to the biotechnology sector. We need to create jobs. We need to create opportunities for students so that they have a very good career ahead. If we can give all those, we should give them good money, pay packet. If all these things are there, going to be there, definitely the day is not far off when it will become a #1 sector job-wise also.
We have also very less time left with us. We have been talking a lot on the biotechnology and you have been giving us so crucial and so important information. I hope all the students who might have or who might be watching us would be benefited. Now I would like you to sum it up and tell all the students how beneficial this course or this subject could be.
Yeah, I would like to summarize by saying it has a immense potential. This field has got immense potential wherein we can utilize, as I just told you, you just need to be creative. You just need to have an aptitude for changing, you know. If you have an aptitude for changing, if you know you are rightly placed, you know how to pursue things, the day won't be far off where you will be enrolled in one of the courses wherein you will be learning biotechnology. You should know which institutes, and I think by this lecture you must be aware that which all institutes are giving these courses, you know, at undergraduate and postgraduate level. Pursue biotechnology. It does have an immense application. You just need to be innovative. You just need to be creative, and there you will go. You will go far off.
Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you for giving such essential information to all the students, and I would like to tell all the viewers that Dr. Hardeep Kaur would be again with us in this week only, and she is going to give you more, that is deep insight into this very topic, that is the biotechnology as a whole. And I would once again like to thank Dr. Hardeep Kaur.
Thank you,
ma'am. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.